In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up Google Dynamic Search Ads. These types of campaigns are the best for people that have really robust landing pages with lots of information that Google can source the information off the pages and decide who to show that content to or who that page makes the most sense for. So if you have really boring, bland pages, probably don't use this. I'm going to show you this process. It's jank the way that Google has it set up, but here we go. All right, so you'll be at the campaign level, hit plus to create a new campaign, hit sales. If you're wanting to use this for generating leads or contacts, make sure to select that. In this case, we're just going to be optimizing for purchases. Remove anything else that's not that. Go ahead and click search, grab my website URL. Go ahead and give it a good naming convention. I'm going to call it DSA for dynamic search ads. Hit continue. Make sure to have maximize conversions on, hit next. Turn off these networks. They are never good. Don't ever use these. But you can learn more about that in my other videos. Make sure you target the correct location. Always use presence, never do presence or interest. This means, let's say somebody living in India was interested in your business in the US. Well, you probably can't sell to them, but if they have an interest, Google can say, hey, it makes sense to show up for them. We do not want that on, so hit presence. Political, more settings. We're not going to set any of these audience segments or any of that. Would not recommend doing that when you're doing a fresh DSA. Do not turn on AI Max. We're going to skip the AI automation thing, close out of more AI automation. Now, this is a normal search campaign right here, right? So we don't want to do that. We're going to go ahead, click down to this ad group actually, hit remove, then hit budget. Just select a random budget. We'll put $5, hit review, and then hit publish campaign. It's going to say it can't run, we're missing information, which is true, but it's because Google has a weird way of setting this up. So now what we're going to do, make sure you're in the correct campaign, go to the ad group level, click plus. So you're creating your dynamic ad group. So make sure you switch from standard to dynamic now. So I'm going to go ahead and type in wheelchair because in this account, I'm targeting people who want to buy wheelchair ramps. Now, you'll have two to three options when setting up your DSAs. So one is product categories. Now, if you've had your website and it's been around for a while, it will have had time to crawl your website and decide which pages or which categories, I should say, make most sense for you to select as targets. If it doesn't have that, you can go in here and drop in specific website URLs to target. Or you could select all pages on your website. I do not recommend doing this because you don't necessarily, let's say you're an e-com brand, want to drive people to your blog pages or your FAQ pages. You want to drive them typically to product pages or collection pages. So in this scenario, I am actually going to test out the wheelchair ramps for this one. And now if you're like, hey, I want to see what, an ad could look like, you can put your cursor over this kind of preview and it'll give you an example of what some of your ads could look like. So it shows you the landing page it's matching to, and then the example of the ad headline. And now you can see it. So foldable wheelchair ramps, all this good stuff. So now I can hit save and continue. The next step is you just need to put in the description text. So it's going to dynamically generate your headline, but I want to be able to grab the description text. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my ad copy. So now I've added in my ad copy. You can see on the right side some examples of the preview and what it would look like. And now I've hit done. And now we have built our first DSA ad group. So my advice to you is to build your ad groups by the category you target. So for example, you don't want to go back in and add in 10 different targets under this wheelchair ad group. So the way you can see this, if I click into wheelchair, then I can see the dynamic ad target that I have here. What I don't want to do is add in van ramps and all these different things. Now, maybe I might decide the van ramps make sense in that same ad group to show up for, but in this case, I want to make sure that each ad group has very specific copy to the category or landing page URL I'm targeting. And here's one more bonus tip for you. If you do select all pages and you say, hey, Google, I want you to look at everything and I don't care where conversions come from or what page, I just want to generate conversions. You can do that and then also add negative dynamic ad targets. So you can go ahead and add in your exact URL. So in my case, what I would want to do is create rules and do a URL contains blog. So anything that has the word blog in it, I know that the blogs on my website right now would say wheelchair ramp blog / whatever. Anything that contains the word blog, never show it. Awesome. Now I would hit save Bada boom, bada bing, I'm done. So that's another way to control the dynamic ad targets that you use if you use a larger target. Another example would be if I use a dynamic ad target that said, instead of targeting this category, I said, I want you just to go and do a page that contains all the pages that contain the word wheelchair. That could be, if I didn't have the blog, that negative dynamic ad target, that could go and target all my product pages that contain the word wheelchair and all the blog pages. So that's why you want to do that, or add negatives, I should say. And you can target by page content. So things on your landing page, it'll read that, or your page title. That's a good one. And now this goes back to the importance of making sure you have good URL structures and good content on your landing pages. So again, I only recommend this type of campaign if you have really robust landing pages and good content and good URL structures. Google is going to be using a lot more of this dynamic targeting based on the content on your website and your landing pages. So I highly encourage you to build out your pages in that way. All right, if you have any questions on this, feel free to leave a comment down below. I know this component can get a little confusing, so feel free to ask me any questions and I'm happy to help. All right, thanks. Bye.